No, I think it's a disgrace when a country calls itself a superpower and the hospitals are some of the most dangerous places for women to give birth. I think that is just pretty horrific. This is a story that came out in Newsweek, July 27th, 2018. The U.S. is the most dangerous developed country to give birth in, according to this report that came out through USA Today, but it's being reported in Newsweek. This is absolutely ridiculous. The U.S. is the most dangerous country in the developed world to give birth in, according to a report. So you're probably better off giving birth at home than going in these hospitals, because in these hospitals, a lot of women are getting injured and killed giving birth in the hospital. You know, it sounds like there's a lot of people that just simply don't care that work there. About 50,000 women are severely injured during childbirth, and about 700 women die every year. Half of these deaths could have been prevented, as could the injuries, if correct safety procedures had been followed, according to an investigation by USA Today. While most women give birth with no issue, the global burden of disease, a 2015 maternal mortality study published in the Lancet Journal and cited in the USA Today Deadly Deliveries report, lays bare the startling disparity between the U.S. and other developed nations. Maternity mortality was defined as a death occurring because of, this is when women have complications during childbirth and they die. And they're saying a lot of these are pre-existing conditions these women had prior to them even getting pregnant. And many of these deaths could have actually been prevented. And they're right there at the hospital with all this staff around them. And these women are either getting injured or dying at the hospital. Between 1990 and 2015, the number of maternity deaths per 100,000 births in most developed nations, including Germany, France, Japan, England, and Canada, fell or plateaued to below 10. But in the US, the figure spiked to 26.4. You know, so much for being an advanced nation, and you're botching all of these births. The conclusion was the result of a 4-year investigation that assessed that more than 500,000 pages of internal hospital quality records included more than 150 of botched deliveries. It revealed the leading cause of death in the U.S. were hemorrhage and severe hypertension, where blood pressure and blood loss levels have to be closely monitored. The medical professionals too often eyeballed instead of measure blood loss levels, according to USA Today. Analysis of records on federally funded quality programs for dozens of hospitals in New York, Pennsylvania, and the Carolinas indicated fewer than half of maternity patients were treated for blood pressure high enough to cause stroke. And less than 15% of women in danger received recommended treatments. The investigation found a lack of care at a range of hospitals across the country. Why? Why is that the case? In the case of a Texas woman, She almost bled to death, and her heart stopped during labor. She later had a hysterectomy and required a kidney transplant because of her injuries. Okay. So they're pretty much saying that hospitals are not doing a thorough enough job to check the health of these women that are birthing in the hospital. And many of the things that are occurring could have easily been prevented. A lot of the deaths and injuries could have been prevented had the medical professionals that were there at the time just checked a few things. So they're saying that they're not even checking the blood pressure on many of these women that are giving birth. I think that's appalling. I really do. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention did not immediately respond to a request for comment on these findings. The American College, okay, let me just go down a little bit. It also points to the racial disparities in maternity mortality. Black women, for example, are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from a pregnancy-related complication than non-Hispanic white women. And I believe that because there's been a lot of articles coming out about all of these Black women dying in childbirth. So I definitely believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, you just have hard decisions to make. You know, I had a friend whose daughter recently gave birth, and she gave birth to her child at home. And maybe that's not such a bad idea. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.